A much bigger weekend of college football. Easy enough for me to say. Dean Legge, Matt DeBerry, Ryan Curley. We're going to go straight into these picks. Big one up at Death Valley, or whatever it's called now. Florida State going to Clemson. They are a 2-point favorite. The Noles. Matt, comments, and who you got?
Yeah, I thought that was a little weird. I think Florida State's the better team, right? By more than 2 points. I think they can go on the road and win this game by a touchdown, maybe a little bit more. As y'all know, I have not been high on Clemson the entire year. And noon start, I'm not sure how much that crowd is going to be ready. I like the Noles in this one, Ryan.
Yeah, I like Florida State as well. I know that they struggled last week against Boston College. They're dancing around with them in the fourth quarter, but I just don't trust this Clemson team when you come out to a start like that. And just the last couple of years, they've been so up and down. It feels like they've been kind of on a roller coaster ride. And I think if FSU is a contender, I think they go in and they win maybe by about 10 points on the road.
So I don't like something's wrong here. So I'll take the Taters. This doesn't make sense to me. I don't think they're going to win this game necessarily, but I don't understand why that line's where it's at, which throws up a massive red flag for me. Colorado is going to Oregon, Matt. I'm going to start this one off. You can play my theme music. Oregon wins. I'll take the Buffs, though.
Me too. That's a lot of points. I think they're going to fight hard. This might be a closer game than people think. Just too many points. Like you said, I don't think they're going to win the game, but I'll take them to cover.
Yeah, same here. I mean, 21 points is a lot. I think that they can, even without Travis Hunter, this team can obviously score. But Oregon, better team. They're at home. I think Colorado picks up his first loss.
All right, UCLA travels out of Los Angeles to Utah. I have this game as a UCLA as a 4.5-point favorite. Let's come back to that game, y'all. I'm sorry. Ole Miss travels to Alabama. The Rebels are, and this thing's teetering too, but we're going to go with Ole Miss, Ryan, getting a 7-point cushion on the road at Alabama. We could talk about this game probably for 15 minutes, but why don't you tell us what's going to happen in this one?
Yeah, I really don't like this. I'm going to take Alabama to cover the 7 points at home. I think that they bounce back. This is not an Alabama team that we're used to watching, but I still think that they're good enough to win by a touchdown at home against Ole Miss. I just have a hard time seeing a Nick Saban coach team really struggle three weeks in a row.
Matt?
Yeah, give me the Rebels. I think Lane Kiffin needs to beat Nick Saban eventually. This is the year to do it. They're playing really good football. He's getting really good quarterback play. I think they can go over there and play them tough. They may not win the game, but I'll take Ole Miss to cover, Dean.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to as well. Give me the Black Bears. I think Alabama wins this game. I know I don't know. I don't like either of these guys right now. I've seen Ole Miss enough to say they can be up and down during games, but most of college football is that way. I will take the points, though. UCLA is actually a 4.5-point dog on the road. Matt, I don't know if that changes your opinion of things. They will go to Utah. Game's on Fox at 3:30. Who you like in UCLA at Utah?
I like Utah. Really like that defense. I think UCLA is going to stumble eventually. I think this is the week they do it.
Yeah, I'll take Utah at home. I think they're a good football team. I think that the Pac-12 to me is the most interesting conference this year. It's been the most fun conference to watch, but UCLA, I don't trust. I just haven't trust those Chip Kelly-led teams over the last few years. I don't think that they go on the road and beat Utah.
With good reason, I'm with you. I'll take the Utes. I don't think I have to give an explanation other than Utah's just straight tougher than UCLA. Iowa goes to Penn State. This is a nightcap game on CBS. Georgia with the most watched game on CBS this year so far, Ryan. Iowa cannot score, but they're getting 14.5 points at Penn State, Happy Valley.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Nittany Lions to cover this line. I think that they're a good team. I think they're a little underrated going into this thing. I think that the Big Ten can get really interesting over the last few weeks of the season. I'm going to go with them to have a strong win here at night.
I'm going to jump in real quick, Matt. I'm going to take Penn State as well. I think this is their whiteout game. No one cares, but that's what they're thumping their chests about. Congratulations. You should cover this line. Iowa cannot score, Matt.
I'm going to take the Hawkeyes. I think they go in and play a really tough game. I'm not sure if they're going to play spoiler and win the game, but I think this one could be a little closer than people think. I think Iowa's a little better offensively than they were last year. Still not great, but this is more of a gut feeling than anyone else. I'm going to take Iowa here to cover.
The Beavs head to Wazoo. Washington State's in the middle of nowhere in Pullman. The poor people at Fox are going to have to travel all the way out there. Oregon State's a 3-point favorite on the road at Washington State. I am going to take the Beavs to cover this deal. I've watched Oregon State a couple of times. I'm not an expert on Pac-12 football. I should be at this point. They have played well so far this season, Ryan. I'll take the Beavers.
Yeah, I'm going to take them as well. I don't feel super confident about it. I think this is one of those games that could get kind of wacky out there. But look, DJU trying to have a resurgence over there at Oregon State. I think that he's, played maybe not excellent, but played well to this point. I think they go in and they can win by more than 3 points.
Yeah, give me the Cougars at night. This is going to be a wild game. I think this could get really crazy, like Ryan said. They've got a lot of momentum as a program right now. Everyone's bought in. Could be a really tough environment to play. I think they're going to be ready. I think the Cougars in this one.
All right, game of the weekend. Ohio State travels to Notre Dame, which is a fascinating matchup. NBC should win the weekend with this, although Colorado at Oregon is going to be a real – that's going to get a lot of eyeballs. Dion and them are getting a lot of eyeballs, and it's going to be a 3:30 game on ABC. Wait till the SC game in a couple of weeks. Ryan, where are you going here? Ohio State is a 3.5-point favorite at Notre Dame. Both these teams undefeated. They're both top 10. They I don't know. You tell me.
Oh, I think I'm gonna take Notre Dame at home, man, with the points. They've looked like a solid team so far. I know that their competition level hasn't been, amazing through the first few weeks. They've got an older quarterback. I think Sam Hartman's played really well. That running back has played really well. I don't trust a lot of the teams at the top right now, and that includes Ohio State. I'll take the Fighting Irish in an upset.
Same here. At home, I think they're the better team. I think they have the better quarterback. I think a lot of Ohio State fans are going to be there in the house. But I'm going to take the Irish here. I think they're playing really, really well, and I think they're going to take this one.
Yeah, I'm concerned because we're all three taking Notre Dame. We're saying trust about as much as Joey Galloway says physical, which is another red flag. Here's why I'm taking Notre Dame, and I think both these teams can wind up in the playoff. I don't know that they both will, but I'm going to take Notre Dame because in so far that I have seen, they have been as pinned up and disciplined and played better than everybody that I've seen play, including Georgia. Like, they're not better than Georgia. They played better than Georgia. So I don't think that just goes away. It's a real test for them. Ohio State's still figuring some things out, like everybody that's changing quarterbacks. But I'll take the Irish here with the points for sure. I think I might take them straight up as well. We'll just see. The Dogs are hosting UAB, who are getting a near 7 touchdown line here. I am going to take Georgia to cover a 41.5-point line. Here's why. It's not happened yet. It nearly happened 2 weeks ago against Ball State. Georgia, so you have to clean up the execution issues in the red zone. I don't think those things come and go, but I think there is variance during a season. My suspicion is they're very crisp this week in the red zone if they get to the red zone. UAB is a rough football team. I'm not sure they score this week. And Ryan, I don't know what you think, but I will take the Dogs to cover amazingly.
Yeah, I've been reluctant to take them to cover, but I've continued to take them to cover, and I'm going to keep that trend going this week. They were so close to doing that a couple of weeks ago against Ball State. I think they ended up pushing, right? It ended up being even. Yes. And, after the first 3 weeks, they just, we've talked about it over and over with them not having the hot starts. I think that Georgia finally, looks, I guess, a little bit more, eye test wise, I think Georgia will pass that test with flying colors this week. That's my prediction. I'll take them to cover.
Yeah, a lot of points. I'm going to take UAB here. I think Georgia's going to have to be almost perfect in the red zone. You can't settle for field goals and cover this spread. I do think UAB can score a little bit. Their defense is atrocious, but if they can get to 10 or 13 with a late score in the game, Georgia's going to have to be in the mid 50s to cover this line. With the backups in the second half, not sure they'll get there. And I mean, they're going to have to get more than 3 possessions in the first half. If this game goes quickly, Georgia might not have time at the end to cover this, but just a lot of points. I think UAB can score a little bit. I'm going to take the Blazers to cover.
That's very good, nuanced discussion for those of you who are watching the degenerates betting on these games. You're welcome. We'll see you on the next video.